All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I'm going to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ekakodash. Say, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ekakodash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. We're in the time of the end. Things are taking place. Big things are getting ready to happen and are happening and have been happening. All right, we used to tell people that the time is coming, and I always remember what the apostles would say, that the elders told them that you would know, you would know, just like the birth pains, just like Habakkuk said, it says, though it tarry, wait for it, and it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. So let's jump right into this video. The title of this video is going to be called American/Babylonians Are Catching Hell. Welcome to the curses, okay? American/Babylonians are catching hell. Welcome to the curses, okay? Because you got Jakes that are tied into the society that have co-signed to this. That's why it says, though hand join in hand, wicked shall not go unpunished. So that's what's happening. If you look in history, most people think these things happen because they're just happenings in the world. No. Why do you think people went into slavery? If you want to see a prime example of God's judgment, look at the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are spread out through the four corners of the planet Earth. And you have a large amount that are in Babylon the Great, which is called America today. All right, America is in prophecy. It is prophesied to come and rule in the latter times. Okay, Second Ezra tells us that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the world that's coming is going to be a new world. That's why Revelation says a new heaven and a new earth. There's going to be a transformation on a high level, and it comes with that destruction. Going back to the time of the flood with Noah, the world was transformed. All right, you had and how do you prove that? Because even Esau tell you there was a landmass known as Pangea. All right, and it was shattered. That's where you get the continents today. So let's jump into this video. I'm going to play a little bit of these videos. This is fair use. This is for educational purposes only. I found this person, Homestead Journey. She does a little bit of videos dealing with having, preparedness, but she also reviews other videos. So I'm going to play these videos to show you this is proof that these Edomites, and then Jake too also is catching hell. They're catching the curses. And some of these Edomite-looking people are Jakes in themselves. But that's why the apostle said during Jacob's trouble, it's also going to be Esau's trouble. So the trouble's coming down the pike for Babylonians, period. All right, so let's play this. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. I got some scriptures lined up that we'll go through those scriptures, break them down. Lord willing, that you get the understanding and see the times that we're in. That's what we do these videos for. That's why the Lord said, I've set watchmen. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're telling you that the wolf is coming. Bad times are coming. Okay, that's why it says you must blow the trumpet right. All right, none like these other groups that aren't blowing the right trumpet, and not preparing their people. So let's play.
Easier to do. So what's the end game here? So if you're not already rich, or you're not going to be rich very soon, what is really the end game here? I'm actually asking you, what is the end game?
So I just got my Ameren bill. Mind you, I live in Missouri. Single household, so it's just me, my dog, my two cats. House isn't huge, not even, it's normal, right? 3 bed, 2 bath, nothing crazy, like a little under 1,700 square foot, like literally nothing crazy, right? My bill, $282.99. Carla Joe, vacation's over, girl. Vacation is over. Where are the brothers at? But honestly, when does it end? When does it stop?
When does it end? That's why it says they shall the curses, and I'm gonna get Deuteronomy, but their windows are darkened. What does it say? They're gonna wish that it was night. Okay, hold on. I got the let's jump into that right now. This is the book of this is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7, and it says, this should show you that the Israelites have enemies, and it's not everybody gonna be joined in It's not like that. It was never like that from the Old Testament. So if it's not in the Old Testament, then the Most High is not a power man that he should change or lie. So he's not going to change in the New Testament and include the other nations that he told the Israelites to go jack up, destroy, and establish themselves. So the Lord wouldn't do that. So OT was all about Israel being established and the Lord defending Israel when they were in the right spirit. This is Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, the Lord power will put all these curses on your enemies who hate thee and persecute thee. What did it say? Lo, it was night. Let me see if this will come up. But the scripture says that, lo, it was night. Let's see if it'll pop it up. For the sake of time, I'll get that here shortly, but let's play this.
Why is Airbnb paying me $20,000 a month? I'm going to show you a new way to potentially make
$830.27. Anybody want to guess what that is? You won't guess. So I'm just going to share it with you. That is my electric bill this month. Okay, full disclosure, that is less than last month. Our bill last month was $1,130.98. I'm sorry, it's insane. That is my mortgage payment plus more. Okay, I don't know how anybody is expected to pay that. So, I mean, our house is big. It's not huge. It's not a mansion. It's about 2,500 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. We had 5 children. Our bills with our children, all 5 living at home, were between $400 and $700 a month. So we have called the electric company. They've come out. We live beside a restaurant. We were adamant that we were paying the electric company's bill also. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who can afford even $400 a month for electricity, but they expect us to pay $830 or $1,130. So, yeah, I logged in this morning to see what our bill was when it was due, $830.27.
So we got our electric bill for the month of July, $650. For the month of June, it was $560. For the month of August, if it keeps raising, our electric company, CenterPoint Energy, they're pieces of, we will have given them $2,000 in 3 months just for our electric bill. I can't afford that. And if I can't afford that, I can't imagine other people and what the they're paying. This is bullshit. Like they're forcing us to not pay our bills so that they can force us out of our houses or something.
That's why if you go into the WHO, the World Economic Forum, it says that you shall own nothing and be happy. They don't want you to have no kind of ownership even in the house. Everything. That's why the universal basic income, you will have that, but the housing is going to be provided for you. That's where the 15-minute cities come into play. So they're tight in this thing. It's by a construct, order ab chaos. Okay, the order is going to be you having to be what? No rights, be put into pretty much a jar of restraint, and you only get to do certain amount of things for a certain amount of time. That show you the you could tell Esau is he's a very, what does it say? He's a very scary type of person because he has all the money in the world, but the Lord is putting the spirit on him to do it. At the end of the day, we have to look at the spiritual aspect. We can't look at it as emotions and say, oh, well, damn, what would I do? It's not what you would do. It's what the Lord is doing. All right. Prophecy must be fulfilled. So he's going to crunch, just like the Lord put the spirit on Jeroboam and Rehoboam during the split. That was a spiritual thing. Okay. He was advised, all right, to do certain things, and he didn't. He went against it, and he pinched on the people. All right, which caused that split. So that's biblical in itself. So the things you see taking place now are what you call the fruits of the wickedness and the judgment that's coming down. All right.
I think this is absolutely bull.
I think there's a lot more people that's not paying their bills than media wants you to know. They've been real quiet about this issue.
Jake. Let's Jake, I want to get to the Edomites. So let's go.
So I'm really about
14 days since I had one single job. I went a whole year working at least 1 or 2 jobs per day. And now 14 days. Nothing's changed. Everything's good. I got good reviews. Everything's, I'm a handyman, so do yard work, electrical, all sorts of stuff. 14 days. I have not had one single job. Nothing's changed. Everything's good. I'm getting clicks. I'm getting, everything's good. That tells me that Americans are going super broke. They're trying to do things themselves, which is fine, but 14 days, not one single job. The struggle is about to get real, y'all.
And I want to share a quick story. The other day, I got a phone call. When it went to voicemail, I didn't recognize the number. The phone call was for a company that we worked with back in 2018.
She pretty much goes into them.
Younger, providing a roof over my grandkid's head.
Go reaching out to her to get so-called jobs since 2018. So companies are reaching way back, okay, in their downline. That's what you call a downline. It's somebody you've done business with, somebody that's shown interest in your product, and you capture their information. That way you could reach out to them at a later time. That's what's called a downline.
I don't know how I even got in this. I am afraid. I'm not even gonna lie.
Work from us? Wow. I mean, that
part
was a shocker. But that's kind of what you're seeing nowadays. You're seeing people really hurting for work, and they're doing whatever they can to make ends meet.
I am afraid. I'm not even gonna lie. I am afraid of not being able to pay my rent. The electric is going up in the state I live in. Gas, car insurance, medical insurance doubled. I am responsible for providing a roof over my grandkid's head. I don't know how I even got in this situation. How did I even get here? My landlord told me straight up, I'm raising your rent every single year. It's going to get to the point that I can't even pay it because I'm having a hard time paying it now. I cannot believe I'm even 53 years old saying this. Like, I was never afraid when I was younger at all, raising 2 kids all by myself financially, ever. I'm a grown-ass woman, and I am so afraid. It keeps me up at night sometimes. If I didn't have other people depending on me, I would not be afraid. I could just go anywhere.
How are y'all saving money? Like, can someone please let me in on your secret? Because I cannot save money for the life of me. I cannot do it. I try so hard to save money. This is what happens. I get paid every 2 weeks. So when I get paid, I'll pay bills and I put money into my savings account, okay? I put it in there and I tell myself, okay, I'm not going to touch it. I got to save this money, whatever. Well, I have 2 weeks till I get paid again. So it is always something. Every time I put money in my savings account, I have to get it out for something. But my family can't go without food. I can't go without gas. Like, I'm not spending the savings account money like on anything that's not a need. So what the how are you guys saving money? I just do.
I would never buy cannabis online. I have my son buy it for me.
When are you getting your...
Not get it.
Am I the only one that feels like there's going to be like a big economic crash that happens in, I don't know, the next 6 months? Like, the jobs numbers don't make a whole lot of sense for like a really healthy economy. I know a lot of people are feeling the effects of inflation, what's going on at the grocery store. I know the stock market is really inflated, but it seems like it's very speculative, very AI driven, which I feel like there's probably some form of an AI bubble. Not saying AI is not important. I just don't understand some of the valuations that are put out there. It seems like a lot of stocks are inflated because of buybacks and stuff like that. And fundamentally, I just don't feel like people are actually doing very well. And when the American consumer isn't doing well, there typically leads to a crash.
I have a question for everybody who like lives in the city, lives in a house, pays mortgage, works, does all the normal things. I've been out of the system for about 7 years now. Do you have a game plan for when the systems all collapse? Like, things are collapsing as we speak right now. Do you have a game plan? And what is that? Because for the past 16 years, I've been trying to create village community resources for collaboration and a new way of thinking, being, living. But people aren't really on board with that. So do people have another plan? Like, what is your plan? Are people just going to ignore the fact that systems are collapsing and continue going to work every day?
Most of us have lived our lives without having to worry about supply. Well, it's coming to an end, guys. The supply chain has been eroding since 2008. Prices have been going up since then. I remember a time back then that I could go into a store, any store, find anything I wanted on my list, go to one store. Now I have to go to 4. And the prices are sky high. I am blessed to have a friend nearby who gives us free eggs laid by her chicken. We gift her something, something canned, because she's a blessing on earth. And sometimes she allows us to pay for what she gives us. I think maybe once. So we still are in the category of having a lot of blessings in our house, in our lives, and we're not lacking anything. But those days are coming where people are going to, that haven't lacked anything, are going to start lacking. And then you'll hear the shouts. Just think, you wake up one day, lights are out. No gas stations are running. It's chaos on the streets in a vehicle. No banks are open. You can't use your credit cards anywhere. And grocery stores are shut down. How long would you exist on what you have? You got to think on those terms during today. You have to. Sorry, guys, you have to face up and be prepared.
What I want to tell everyone is...
So we here. Okay, we here. We told Jake. We told people, because it's the Spirit of the Lord that's given us the inspiration to be able to go into these prophecies and to tell you what was coming. Just like Noah. Okay, the prophets in the modern times are symbolic of Noah before the ark, before the flood came, because this is the second death that we're approaching, which is going to be by fire. It's not going to be by water. It's going to be by fire, thermonuclear fire, and the fire from the angels in heaven. All right, they're going to come on the planet Earth, and they're going to do damage on a level that has never been seen before. Okay. All right, so all the things that these elites are doing, they're squeezing the people because they're catching hell. Just like we didn't fall overnight. It took a process of time, process of situations, happenings, okay, for us to totally fall. Deuteronomy 28 didn't happen all at once, okay? That's why some people can't get it, just like the prophecies in certain chapters, especially Revelations. People can't understand it because it's not chronologically in order, okay? Here a little, there a little. It happened here, then a little bit of time went on, then the rest of it happened, okay? Multi-level prophecies, okay, if you want to look at it like that. Just like you have 3D chess, okay, these prophecies are 3D, okay, they're not 2D, they're expansive, and that's what you're seeing happening today. Read it again. This is Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. It says, the Lord your power will put all these curses on your enemies, and who hate, and it says enemies who hate and persecute you. And we've been telling them. We've been telling Jakes. We've been telling, and 2/3 of Jake are just like these nations, because who a majority of the scoffers coming against this truth? It's Jakes, Israelites, fallouts, people that got disenchanted, all these people that don't believe the church. Oh yeah, you guys aren't this, but you got certain Edomites that look like Edomites that are coming out and saying, because they've done their research. There's people that haven't come out and said anything. They just went and read it. They said, let me check out what this Negro is talking about. And they heard you on the street preaching, and they went home and they did their due diligence, and they seen it, and they scared, man. What the Wisdom of Solomon in the 5th chapter said when they see the righteous man stand in great boldness, they shall be afraid with terrible fear. I'm paraphrasing it. So those that are really that are astute and want to look this thing up, and especially now with the news and watching and heard the things that you said, and then all of a sudden it's coming to pass. They know that a prophet has been among them. They're even more scared now. They don't want to come by you. It's more than a shame. They've talked against the if they can actually believe that you are a prophet, then guess what? They're gonna have to believe that you were sent from a power, a heavenly power. So they trying to stay far away from you because they already know that the Lord is dealing with this man, dealing with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. So that's where they don't even want to come by you. Okay. This is just like when the time Moses, they didn't want to look upon his face because of the glory of the Lord that was on him. It caused his face to shine, man. Okay. Isaiah 41 and verse 11 and 12. Behold, all who rage against you will be ashamed and disgraced. Those who contend with you will be reduced to nothing and will perish. You will seek them, but will not find them. Those who wage war against you will come to nothing. Okay? And that's what you're seeing the beginning stages of that. Because the Lord has not forgotten the blood of the Israelites, the Negroes, Latino, and Native Americans that have been shed on this landmass and around the world. Okay? It has not been forgotten. This is the book of Isaiah. This is Isaiah 2 and verse 17. It says the arrogancy of man will be brought low, and the human pride humbled. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day. And that's a great and notable day of the Lord. And that's what we're waiting on. We stored our treasures up in heaven where where we can pull from. And those are spiritual blessings. You might go somewhere and the Lord bring you some extra money. He might take care of you in a job where you have enough to take care of you and people around you. You don't want for nothing, even if you're working a lot. Guess what? People ain't working at all. Edomites that have college degrees can't get a job, a good one. They got to work at a gas station, or they got to work and do some kind of minuscule job instead of actually having a job in their field or their degree, because some of them have been replaced by AI. All right. And that's the punch they didn't see coming. And Esau knew he was going to bring it out. So he was selling them a Ponzi scheme. Okay. He was doing okie doke. He was, oh yeah, go to college for this, for that. But they already had in the back burner where they were creating technology to replace you. While you were spending, now you're in debt. And on top of that, you're going to get replaced anyway. Okay. And this is King James. It says, so the loftiness of man shall be brought low, bowed down, Salakia, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. And that's what you see. All these things taking place is he's dismantling the pride of the wicked. These Edomites, these people that live middle class lives, and those is getting taken away. Everything is being culminated to what? The time of Jacob's trouble. And then on top of that, then the deliverance and the judgment that's going to come down in this third world war, which is going to be locked in with Russia, China, their allies, the BRICS nations, and then Babylon's allies also. They're gonna have an evil thought, and they're gonna shoot their weapons on Babylon the Great also. Okay. This is Proverbs 16 and verse 5. Everyone who is proud in heart is detestable to the Lord. Be assured that he will not go unpunished. And Esau set the tone for being prideful on the planet Earth. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3. We'll read the Amplified. In the day when the keepers of the house, arms tremble, and that's what you call the leaders, the governors, the mayors, and the strong men, feet, knees bow themselves. It says strong men, feet, knees bow themselves, and the grinders what is that? Molar teeth cease, because they are few, and those eyes who look through the windows grow dim. See? Read the NLT. It says, remember him before your legs. It says, remember him before your legs and guard of your house start to tremble, and before your shoulders and the strong men stoop. Remember him before your teeth, your few remaining servants stop grinding, and before your eyes, the women looking through the windows see dimly. And that's what you see. That means there ain't no hope coming, man. All right. Yabashim Yahshua is doing a great work. He's judging these people, judging the earth for what it's done, and the elect that is stored up treasures in heaven. Okay, we have gathered faith as a treasure. And we gonna, hey, in these days we're gonna be merry, man. All right. Regardless of what Esau does to us, we know the finish line is the kingdom of heaven, and we keep that hope and keep the crown. That's why it says, let no man take your crown. And then we're gonna be glorified, and we're gonna rule the planet earth in righteousness, man. All right. And abundance of the abundance is gonna flow on to us, man. All right, so Lord willing, is that a final lesson? I'm going to leave it there. With that, I say, call hello, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rechak, Wadash. Until the next time, I say shalom, and more than how to never keep faith. Shalom.